Today I'm going to show you how to change out a pump on a Swisher 3000 PSI pressure washer. This unit here has the Honda engine. It's the GCV190, and believe it or not, this has been one of the best pressure washers I've ever seen. I bought this 14 years ago, and I'll prove that to you by the date code stamped on it. But I bought this back then for $200 at Rural King. They were sitting in the middle aisle, and I seen $200, and even back then for the cheapest one, seemed like you were going to pay $300 for a pressure washer like this. So I couldn't pass it up. It said refurbished on it, and decided I'm going to go ahead and try it out. And yeah, I liked it so much, I ended up buying one for the place I worked at the time, and also ended up, two friends of mine ended up buying these as well. And so this is the first time I've had a problem with it. It's got a few little flaws, but it's been a great pressure washer. So we're going to go ahead and get that changed out. But let me take you over here and we'll look at the tag on it. You can see it says refurbished unit. The model is MSV3024R. And scan around here, date code is 9 of 2012, so that's 14 years ago. Now, I had people telling me, don't buy it, it's refurbished, it's going to go bad on you. There's something wrong with it. And like I say, I figured if nothing else, the Honda engine was worth the money, and if I had to put a pump on it in 2 years, it'd be well worth spending the extra $100 to get that pump put on. So there's the pump. The main problem with this unit is for the last few months I've been using it, and it'll just randomly die. And so I've checked everything. I had it all apart. I figured the motor was the problem. Thought maybe at first that the gas cap was the issue, so I would leave the gas cap loose, and it seemed to run for a while like that. I mean, I think it was just a fluke because eventually the problem got worse and worse, and it ended up dying anyway, no matter what I did. Had the carburetor off, went through it. It looked perfect inside. Checked all the wires for the kill switches, did all that, and it didn't occur to me for probably 4 months that this thing would die when I was pulling the trigger on the wand. So ended up finally killing itself. It would finally die every probably 30 seconds to a minute after I would pull that trigger. So like I say, the problem kept getting worse and worse. Eventually got to that point. And so I thought, well, that's weird. Maybe the pump is locking up on it and killing the motor. And so I don't know what's wrong with the pump internally, but I do know that this Honda motor will sit and run and run and run until you pull that trigger. So it's got to be the pump. So over here on the bench, I'm all set up. I got the instructions here. I got the new pump. I ordered this off of Amazon. It was $92. I think with tax and everything, it was just under $100 out the door. That pump comes with a new hose for your suction if you wanted to use chemicals with it or any kind of soap. Comes with a new one of those. Came with a new key for the keyway on the motor shaft. There's your part number. SKU is 100947. I got the instructions out here, and I wanted to kind of show you this too in case you guys have the same unit. You can take a look at these part numbers. So there is a parts list and all the numbers that go along with this pump. So I wanted to point that out, and let's see here. Here is the Highmore model number for this pump. So I don't know if that'll help or not, but there it is. You guys can use that. If you're trying to order one, maybe you can find one cheaper. I don't know. Seemed like $92 was actually a pretty good deal for this thing. So I was not worried about it at all. And it does say the ROP shop on it. So that's another thing that you may want to search for. I did not go to the website, but perhaps they have a decent deal on those. But yeah, that's about it. If you guys need to pause the video and look at any of these numbers or any of the literature, then go ahead and do so. But we'll throw that to the side. And I'm going to get the pressure washer up on the bench and we'll get working on it. So here are the tools that I used for this project. I've got a pry bar for prying the pump away from the motor. I got a pair of pliers here, as well as a chisel. Those are both to get the key out of the keyway to replace it. I got a 1/2-inch wrench, and really you just need 2 1/2-inch wrenches, but I like power tools, and so I put a 1/2-inch socket on one end and a wrench on the other. Also an extension to put in here and extend that socket out a little bit. Then you're going to need a wire brush to clean the shaft, and I just used one for a drill, put it in this drill, and those are the tools that I use. So you can do everything with manual tools if you got it, but I got drills, so I like to make it easy on myself. All right. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of the wand here. Don't need that on there. And we'll get rid of this hose. Now this hose is not original. The original one that came with this was 25 foot. I went ahead and I actually burned it on the exhaust, and I ended up getting a 50-footer to replace it. So I'm glad I did. That worked out really nice. To change this pump out, you're going to have to flip this thing on its back. And to do that, first thing you're going to want to do is turn the fuel off right here. So there's a valve right here, and that's on, that's off. The way you can tell if it's on or off is when a valve is on, the lever here will be in line with the hose. And when it's off, it'll be opposed to it. So that's how you know if it's on or off, if it's not marked. So we're going to flip this thing on its back, make sure your gas cap is tight, and that way we can get to the pump. Now you're probably going to see a little bit of gas leaking out of the carburetor. It is what it is, that's fine. Super easy to do. You've got 3 bolts that bolt this thing on. You've got this hose over here that is going to come off completely. We're just going to toss that and throw it in the trash. All right, that's gone. Now you're going to want to prop something under the motor, because these bolts also hold the motor to the frame. So put something under that motor so it doesn't want to fall on you. This is a this is a 1/2 inch, and it does have a nut on the back side, so you're going to need a wrench to hold it. But we'll go ahead and start pulling these off. All right, there's 2, and it's a good idea to leave the top one till last. Now everything should be loose here. I'm gonna go grab a pry bar and we'll see if we can start getting this pump off. It's a little rusty, so there we go, it's starting to come off. Shouldn't take a whole lot, but there we go. There we go, it's off. So what I'm going to do, you can see there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this shaft up and pull that keyway off of there. And I'm going to put some anti-seize back on when I put this other pump back on there. It didn't look like they put anything on it, but I think it's a good idea, because this Honda motor will probably go through a few of these pumps. So another 14 years, we'll do it again. that looks pretty good inside that keyway there. So go ahead and put this other key in there. Right there, give it a little tap. All right, I'll go back to the other side and we'll get this bolted back down. Now remember which way your connection hooked up to. This one was to the back of the unit. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on. Well, let me go get some anti-seize first. Don't really need a lot of anti-seize. A little bit goes a long ways. All right, it's on. So we're gonna turn it so that the connection is in the direction it needs to be and start putting our bolts back in. All right. Put our nuts on and tighten it down. Make sure you attach your hose. Here's where the hose connects to. We're looking at the back of the unit. It attaches right on the side here on that brass fitting. There is another fitting on this pump right here. Do not put it on there. That is a relief part where if it builds too much pressure or heat, it'll blow water out of here rather than cause damage. So don't put it on there, put it on the brass one. If you got a good engine, it sure beats putting a new pump on because of how easy it is versus going out and spending a few $100s more. It's so easy, I don't see why anybody wouldn't do it. So we got the pump on, everything is good to go. All I gotta do is test it and be on our way. So I'm glad I got this done. This was kind of holding up a bunch of projects that I had going. I have a whole bunch of stuff that has to get pressure washed before I can work on it. A lot of the reason is like I got a tractor I'm gonna restore. If you know, I got a truck that has an oil leak, I want to pressure wash the whole underside of it so that I can pinpoint that oil leak and figure out what I need to do to fix it. So you don't realize how much you use a pressure washer until you don't have one. So I do my house with it, do a lot of stuff with it. So there you go. That's how you put a pump on a Swisher MSV3024. Thanks for watching.